Hello there everyone, it's Carol from the Crafty Emporium again. This is the next video in the series of The Little Things Count, and in the previous video I said to have a load of circles punched out and cut. I forgot to say what size. Oh dear. I using my 1-inch punched circle. Okay, so that's what I'm using for this. But I wanted to do this video because I wanted to show you the versatility of the humble circle. So as you can see, I've got just the odd one or two punched out. Only one or two. And what I want to show you mainly is how to make these spiral flowers. Now I have got a load more of these and I've got them out ready specifically for this video. Can I find them? Can I heck? Okay, so it makes these little spiral flowers. Now I did see a lady on YouTube who did these, and unfortunately I can't remember who it was, so I am sorry that I can't give you credit. This is someone else's idea, but thank you for the inspiration. So let's pick one up to show you one up close. So this is the flower and that's the back. Alright, so you need a minimum of 8 circles. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. We've got 9 in this one. In some of them I did use 8. Hang on. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Yeah, 8. If you need more, I think there's a lot more in this one. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. 9 in that one. So if you need more, it doesn't matter. You can just keep adding to it. And the more often you make it, the more you get used to the spacing of it. Alright. So as I say, I used my 1-inch punch circle. Tipped it upside down and again used my scraps of paper because I've got a fair few of those as well. And just punched myself some squircles out. And here's some I prepared earlier. So all I've done basically is I've just folded them in half. So you just get your circle and just literally fold it in half. That's it. That's all you need to do. You need a circle that you're going to have for the back, and you need to flip it over so that the prettier side, if you've got a patterned paper, will be flat on your surface. I'm going to use my PVA glue because I want to be able to maneuver the petals a little bit, and if I use my Tombow glue it just makes it a little bit too permanent too quickly. So I want to use my PVA glue excuse me, I want to use my PVA glue so that I can just maneuver them about a bit. Now you see this straight edge here, I'm going to flip it over and I'm going to put a tiny dab of glue on that corner. Okay, and then I'm going to sit it so that it's horizontal. Okay, do your close up. So it's like that, and then obviously you've got the half circle is open here where you've folded it. Then I'm going to do the same with the next one. So I'm going to have it that way around. My flat edge is here. I'm just going to flip it over and put a tiny bit of glue on the bottom. And then I'm going to sit it inside that half circle and do the point to the center. Okay. Now with the PVA glue still being slightly wet, it means that if I get my first 4 on and I need to maneuver this a little, oh, I've put the glue on the wrong side, look. Dozy move, that's what comes with talking. I'm going to put my glue on there, that's it. So whilst the PVA is still wet, I can manoeuvre the petals if I want to. Flat edge, flip it over, glue. But I want the 4th one to be roughly in line with the first one. Sort of very roughly. So that's a bit of a guide, because then it means that you're halfway round, right? And we're just going to continue on. Get it the right way around, Carol. flat edge, flip it over, dab of glue. And I'm always making sure that it's tucking inside the previous petal and that the point is meeting in the centre. Flat edge, flip it over, dollop of glue. So the circle that you've got flat at the bottom acts as the base, do it that way, and it helps to keep it all together. Okay, so the last one, flat edge, flip it over, dollop of glue. The last one needs to sit inside that previous one, but I also need to open it up so that the first one sits inside of that petal. Can you see that? Can you see how it's now, I've slid it underneath that first one, but I'm also slotting it inside the previous one. So it helps to create that continuous overlapping. Now, as I say, the nice thing is, because I've used the PVA glue, I've still got a little bit of manoeuvrability with each of the petals, so that I can make sure that they're evenly spaced-ish. I'm not getting my protractor out and measuring, that's for sure. Okay, so that's now, excuse me, my little flower. Now the other thing that I can do on this is that I could have inked up each of the edges of those circles before I stuck them down. Then, to tie it all together, to keep it all held in place, I could then attach a button to the centre of the circle. And I'm not going to do that now because I haven't got the right glue with me. I've got my tumble. But I would add a little button in the centre. Okay, and then that helps to keep all the petals in place as well. So the petals are now sandwiched between the button and the circle at the bottom. So those are the little spiral flowers. Now, circles are also good for little tabs on the edges of pages. So if you don't have a specialist tab punch, and I want that circle there to show you. Get you out. And I've got a tag somewhere. There we go. Alright, so I could use the circle for on the top of my tags. So I'd have one on one side and one stuck on the other side, and then that acts as a little tab on the edge of my tag. I could also add that to the edge of my page. One circle on one side and one circle on the other. The other thing that you could do is to actually cut the circle, let's do it that way, cut the circle in half, and then I'd add a little bit of glue on the bottom on the straight edge and attach that to the top of the tag, or even the page, or a note card, whatever, anything that needs a little tab to it. And then I'm going to put glue on the back of the other one all the way over this time, and then that would then sit on the back. So now I've got a tab like so. Alright, so think about circles as well for tabs on tags and on the sides of pages, and anything that's tucked into a pocket that maybe just wants a pulling out, so that you've got something to hold on to. And that's, as I say, if you haven't got here I am again, look, if you haven't got a specific punch, I've got some weird things, you know. Now the other thing that I like doing with circles as well is I like to make my own reinforcing holes, because I like them to match the colours. That's what I want. I like them to match the colours of the papers that I'm using. So I've got this little tiny one, and what I do is I get a strip of paper again, which is where your scraps come in handy. they've just fallen out. And I just go along a strip like this, and I just go and punch a hole and another, but leaving a space between the two. And again, the more you practice, the more you'll learn about the spacing. Okay, so once I've got a strip like that, I then use this little punch, which is my 1/2 inch punch, and I tip it upside down, and then I can visually see that hole that I've just punched, and I centralise it, and I've got myself a little reinforcer hole. Ooh, don't know where that went. Oh, it's attached to my finger. Stay. So then I've got a collection of reinforcing holes as well. Okay, so that's another little circle thing. The other thing I like to do with circles is to make buttons. Now in the previous video I talked about doing the chipboard bit, so I've already stuck here 4 circles of card together, and then I'm going to get one of my circles out. Let's choose a pretty one. Yeah, that's pretty. We'll have that. Now I happen to have this punch, which is for buttonholes, and I want to roughly mark where the centre is, so that I can see where I'm looking. So then I can put that in there, and then through the holes in there, put it that way around, I can see the line that I've drawn there. You watch, and that'll be nowhere near the centre now. Whoop! It fell out. Let's do it on the back, so I can see it better on the back. So long as I'm roughly within that space there, there we go. So I've got my 2 little buttonholes, and then I can glue this circle. This is a big button, obviously. I can glue this to my chipboard pieces, which is just several layers of thicker card. Now at the moment the holes are only on that top piece. What I'm going to do is I'm going to use my pokey tool, and I'm just going to use those holes as the template to just partly push through those holes, because I don't want to go all the way up to the end of my pokey tool because it gets wider, so I only want to go about halfway down so that the holes don't get too big. But I've now also got myself a little button, and I could cover that with glossy accents, or I could use my Versamark and some thingy powder, heat embossing powder, and decorate it up that way as well to give it a little bit more strength. But then I could, if I did a smaller version maybe, I could use that as the centre of my flower. Okay, so that's just a few circular things that you could do. Oh, I've got these. So that would also look nice in the centre of the spiral flowers as well. And also, if you go and have a look at my 5 things challenge, I showed you how to make a petal envelope as well, which is also circles. Yeah, so that would be quite pretty, wouldn't it? So you've got your reinforcers, buttons, flowers, tabs. So there's all sorts of uses for your little circle punches. Okay, have fun. Hope you have fun with all your circles. And again, it's another great way of using up your scraps. And I'll see you in the next video. Have fun. Speak to you soon. Ta-ra a bit.